You're watching The Pat O'Hara Show with host Sean McDowell on Preds TV.
Well, just when you think you had this Arena Football League season figured out for these Orlando Predators, lo and behold, Pat O'Hara and company, they just step right up and surprise us, just as they did this past Saturday night in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the locker room. Sean McDowell here. The Pat O'Hara Show is on the air as Preds TV brings you this weekly broadcast. And, of course, we're talking about this past Saturday night and a huge win for the Orlando Predators, 57-54. The Preds led 27-21 at halftime and really looked good down the stretch in getting this win. They're fourth on the season to go with 4 losses. The Predators level their record now with a 2-game homestand coming up at the Jungle. This victory, though, did not come without a certain expense, as Bobby Scipio, playing in only his second game as an Orlando Predator, well, he had to leave this one with a certain injury to his rib area. We will ask the coach in just mere moments about that situation. Also, we will look ahead as the Spokane Shock comes into Amway Arena this coming Saturday night, bringing what might be the toughest offense in the league to do battle with O'Hara and these Predators. For now, let's talk to a coach who is absolutely walking on air after this last victory. When I walked into the locker room today, you would not have believed the smile on this gentleman's face, and Pat O'Hara has every right to grin ear to ear after a great 3-point victory this past Saturday night at Tulsa and the BOK Center. It was, Coach. It was a huge win, and you and I have talked so many times in this setting that you're looking for a complete game. You had pretty good offense, pretty good defense, and your special teams was outstanding.
Well, I think 2 of the phases were where we wanted to be, Sean. We're not, defensively we really played well. I thought that's a very potent offense, and their quarterback and the receivers, like we talked about, are all on the same page, and we were able to slow them down, get some turnovers, and then on special teams, Josh Bush, 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns was huge. We had, Nick had a couple mistakes there in the passing game. If we can clean that up, then we get a full game. But it was good enough to win, and it's a huge win for us.
Let's review. Let's take those 3 facets of the game one at a time. Start off talking about Nick Hill, who had 4 touchdown passes in the win over Tulsa. He, at times, looked very good. At times, perhaps not up to your standard.
Well, it continues to be a little bit of a growing process there. I mean, he's got the tools and the ability to get it done. We've got to control some of those turnovers at key times, and fortunately, we were able to overcome it the other night.
Let's also talk about the fourth quarter, though, because as far as quarters and getting a grade, I think Nick probably gets good grades for that quarter with his 2 touchdown passes to Derek Lewis. He looked like an older, more mature player at that point in the game.
Yeah, I think he settled down after some of those turnovers and realized what was at stake in the fourth quarter was more accurate and made some good decisions.
Well, you said a mouthful earlier when you talked about the big plays you got on special teams, particularly from Josh Bush. I don't know that you had actually, I was talking with some friends earlier about whether or not you'd had a kick return for score this year. I don't believe you had. And then lo and behold, you get 2 kicks come back for score in the same game from the same guy. Really a bolt of lightning for your team.
It was huge. Josh has been struggling a little bit with some injuries. He got healthy, and this was his opportunity. We felt that his ability to return the kicks would help us offensively. We felt like we needed to score 60 points or more to win this game, and we felt Josh could give us that extra field position and potentially, take 1 back, and he took 2 back, so he really helped us out.
And 1 was particularly tough. I think he cut it off not only the net, but he cut it off the metal casing around the net, didn't he?
Yeah, Josh is just, that's what he does. That's his specialty, is returning the ball off that net, and he's hungry for it. It's great to see him get that done.
Yep. Let's talk about a receiver who may be in a little bit of pain. You and I talked earlier about Bobby Scipio. Of course, only in his second game with the Orlando Predators. He caught a touchdown against Tulsa, but had to leave in the second quarter with a rib injury. Can you share some details as to what happened and maybe what condition he might be in?
Yeah, he caught that touchdown and came down with a ball in between him and the wall, and it was just a freak thing, and got his rib some, and I certainly know what those feel like being a quarterback. So. Yeah. We're going to evaluate him day to day and see how we can overcome it.
If Sip can't go this coming Saturday night, what plans do you have as far as somebody who would step into his place?
Well, we finished the rest of the game with Josh Bush and Derek and TT, and then we have Jerry and James always available who can step in at any time. So we don't lose a whole lot there. It's nice to have Bobby, but it's nice to have some depth too.
Let's also talk about your defense, your pass defense. Was very, very good, particularly in the takeaways. You got the 1 bobbled pass that fell into Kenny's hands. You got the 1 nice pick. Ray Kaiser continues to be the ball hawk, as everybody has nicknamed him. Your secondary has given you such a great lift, isn't it?
It was great to see. Our defense and not only in coverage against a very, very potent offense, our pass rush was finally there. It didn't show in the stat book with sacks, but we hit that quarterback continuously, and it was tough on that quarterback. He had a tough night, taking a lot of hits from our guys, and that's what we've been waiting for, is the pressures and the hits on the quarterback. That certainly helped our secondary.
And the Talons' passing attack, as he mentioned earlier, is very potent, so that's a real feather in the cap for this Predator defense. And particularly in the red zone, I counted in the second half there were 2 situations that Tulsa was about to score, and the Preds either stopped them with a turnover or took it away on downs. That was very good performance.
That's huge. You know, we didn't expect to get that many stops against that team, and I think our defense, you know, they play with a chip on their shoulder. Everyone keeps saying they can't get it done, and we're too old, or we're too this, or we're too that. But boy, and statistically and what they're doing, they're right where we need them to be.
You and the rest of this team and this coaching staff remain very humble, but I wouldn't blame you, Coach, if you strutted a little bit, because you lost your first 3, but you never lost faith in the system. You kept the course, and now you've won 4 of your last 5. What has been the biggest difference for you?
I think consistency, and I think it's familiarity, Sean, with our staff, our players with us, our system, and our players with each other. You know, I think it's just staying consistent and staying the course, and have an understanding that it's a long season, and we want to build our team to finish strong and get into those playoffs. And if we can continue to build on that and not go the other direction, that's what we're trying to do. We certainly have a tough road to hoe here in the second half of the season, but you're going to have to play the best to get to where you want to go anyway, so we'll see what happens.
And the second half of the season will begin with a 2-game homestand. You got to feel good coming home to get 2 back-to-back games beginning this Saturday night against Spokane. Arguably, Coach, the best offense in the league. Your defense is going to have its hands full again.
Yeah, Spokane, you know, now they're the #1 team in the league.
I know.
Just like Milwaukee was a couple weeks ago, and they're coming off a bye, and so we expect a very, very tough game. We're excited to have the opportunity to do that on our stage in front of our fans, and you know, we're looking forward to it. Our players are excited about where we're at, and it's time to continue to build on our success of the last few weeks.
I've heard coaches at various levels say we never get a night off in this league, and boy, you're a prime example of that in the AFL. There are no easy weeks here. There
really isn't. There's so much parity in this league, Sean, and on any given day, you know, it's cliche, but any given day they can happen. So we're going to continue to stay the course and try to get a few more wins.
Congratulations to Pat O'Hara and the Orlando Predators, a 57-54 win on the road at the BOK Center in Tulsa, Oklahoma over the Talons this past Saturday night. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
And our thanks, as always, to the Predator coach for joining us here on the Pat O'Hara Show. And we always throw in the plug. This is that time of the week when we give you the phone number and the web address that you're going to need to get your tickets. And you've tuned in at a fortuitous time, because not only do the Predators have one ball game that we can tell you about, that against Spokane this coming Saturday night at the Jungle, got to throw in a reminder that a rematch against Jacksonville, that is this coming Friday night, or actually next Friday night. Let me get the date on that so I can be sure. That's the 18th, I believe, at Amway Arena against the Jacksonville Sharks and head coach Les Moss. You want to call up the Predators office right now and get your credit card ready, because you can get not only tickets to one game with one phone call, go ahead and get tickets to both. Save yourself a phone call and go ahead and get tickets to both of those games. That number, 407-648-4444. Again, 407-648-4444. Or, of course, you can send your internet browser. Just log on to OrlandoPredators.com, and you can get tickets to those games, or perhaps any of the games remaining on the home schedule for these Orlando Predators. We will see you in about a week to discuss the outcome of that Spokane-Orlando game at Amway Arena that we've been telling you about. Our thanks to Pat O'Hara, and we'll see you soon right here on Preds TV. Until then, I'm Sean McDowell. So long for now.
This has been the Pat O'Hara Show with host Sean McDowell. Don't forget to visit www.orlandopredators.com for all your season ticket info. If you would like to advertise on Preds TV, use the email address on your screen now.